Time for today's American Family News Daily Update. I'm Bronson Woodruff. President Biden has invoked executive privilege to prevent the release of audio recordings of his interview with special counsel Robert Hur. House Speaker Mike Johnson weighed in on the decision, speaking from the steps of the U.S. Capitol.
President Biden is apparently afraid for the citizens of this country and everyone to hear those tapes. They obviously confirm what the special counsel has found and would likely cause, I suppose, in his estimation, such alarm with the American people that the president is using all of his power to suppress their release.
This comes as multiple Republican-led House committees are considering holding Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress over his refusal to hand over the audio recordings from the classified documents probe against the president. The Justice Department says since the recordings now fall under executive privilege, AG Garland shouldn't be punished. While special counsel Hur's investigation immediately ended without charges against the president, he raised concerns about his mental acuity. The White House counsel says Republicans only want the recordings for partisan political reasons and don't have a legitimate reason for the request. Republicans say the audio recordings could be useful in their impeachment investigation into the president. House Republicans are moving forward with a bill that would force President Biden to deliver aid to Israel. House Speaker Mike Johnson spoke about this on Capitol Hill.
The House has tried multiple times to deliver this much-needed aid to Israel, and each and every time now, Biden and Schumer have opposed it.
It comes after the president stalled a shipment of bombs following a disagreement with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The White House and Israel have differed on how to handle Gaza's southernmost city of Rafah, with President Biden urging the IDF not to invade the city, where over 1 million Palestinians are sheltering. The Biden administration says it's moving forward with over $1 billion in new arms agreements with Israel. Speaker Johnson says that won't stop the GOP from moving on their legislation. Former President Donald Trump is back in a New York courtroom today as the prosecution appears close to wrapping up its case against him in the so-called hush money trial. Speaking moments before going into the courtroom, the former president says the legal commentators that he follows view the case as meritless.
They could have done it 7 years ago. This could have been brought 7 years ago. But they wanted it right smack in the middle of election. These are very dishonest people that we're dealing with.
Trump's former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen will continue testifying against his old boss. The former president faces 34 charges of falsifying business records. The prosecution says this was to cover up hush money payments to an adult film star who he allegedly had an affair with. A judge decided on Wednesday that a Southern California college professor will stand trial for involuntary manslaughter and battery. This is over the death of a pro-Israel demonstrator last year. 51-year-old Loay Al-Naji is accused of hitting Paul Kessler with a megaphone in November during a confrontation at an event that started as a pro-Palestinian demonstration in Thousand Oaks. It's a suburb northwest of Los Angeles. Kessler fell backward and hit his head on the pavement. He died the next day at a hospital. He was 69 years old. Al-Naji was charged with 2 felonies, according to the DA's office. If found guilty of all charges, he could be sentenced to more than 4 years in prison. Al-Naji posted a $50,000 bail. And that's all for this American Family News Update. I'm Bronson Woodruff.